Hi everybody, how are you? It's Mike Andrew once again providing a short video with practical insights as it applies to business and leadership. I want to break leadership down into two components. One is the all-important the personal characteristic, the makeup of that person as a leader. It's the sense of character, the sense of humility. And the second component is what I think is one of the fundamental responsibilities of a leader, which is to consistently achieve results and do so with integrity. And the integrity comes right back to the personal, to the character. I once wrote a book. One of my books here is called The Greatest Leader He Ever Saw. And it's a story of character-based leadership. There's a series of character-based leadership lessons. And one of them that I think is relevant to this video today, I have to read my own quote, is that integrity, humility, and treating people with dignity are the foundations of great character-based leaders. I believe that. So we've talked recently in a recent video about humility and humility being the X factor of leadership. I like that term, the X factor. It's not my term. It came from an author named Jim Collins who wrote the book Good to Great. And people have been asking me about this notion of humility recently. So that's why I'm doing a follow-up video on humility. And I always say I'm not an expert in humility. You're just as much an expert as I am, but we know it when we see it. We know humility when we see it. And we talked about why is it humility important in leadership? Well, because we can make a long list, but on the top of my head, I think it helps build trust-based relationships. People with humility tend to truly value and respect others and their opinions. They listen. They don't underestimate other people, and they don't overestimate themselves. People with humility tend to be self-aware. They want to know, they want feedback, they want to continuously improve. And I think people with humility tend to demonstrate executive and professional presence in a business career and in a corporate environment. The opposite of humility is arrogance. And again, we know arrogance when we see it. I've had people that I've had to manage that were arrogant, and boy, was that tough. And there's a very, very well-known leadership assessment out there called the Hogan. And Hogan assesses those personality traits that have enabled your success, and it also assesses those personality traits that could derail you from your leadership career. One of them they call it bold, and bold is interpreted as arrogant, a sense of entitlement, overestimating the value you provide, and we know arrogance when we see it. I had a couple of people work for me once that took the Hogan, and they scored in the danger zone, which means you have to adjust this, or else you could derail your career. And they came to me very proud that they scored extremely high in the danger zone of bold, as if that's a good thing, as if that's a strength. It's not strength, not at all. I think it takes a great deal of strength in character, to be humble. And if you notice, people that are humble don't have to tell you they're humble. They just exude it. So arrogance, the opposite of humility. Confidence, great. But we're not talking confidence. We're talking over the top, derail. And those people that I'm talking about have derailed. Their leadership career derailed. And I think in the end, humility wins. Some people with arrogance, they may win here or there, or sometimes along the way they might win. In the end, humility wins. That's what I've seen. That's what I've observed. Let me just end it with some quotes. I like quotes, and I think these quotes are relevant as they apply to humility. An author by the name of Thomas Morton said that humility is the surest sign of strength. There you go. That's what I believe. C.K. Chesterton, a very well-known author, said, "It is always the secure who can be humble." C.S. Lewis, another writer and theologian, said that humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. And, basically looking out for the greater good. And another author, well-known leadership, motivational author named Zig Ziglar, says that humility, I like this one, humility will open more doors than arrogance will. There you go. In the end, humility wins. So that's my message for today. Personal character, strength in character, humility in leadership, and the responsibility to consistently achieve results, but do it with integrity, and that comes right back to the character strength. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.